How to Train Your Useless Dragon by Mika Crispy on AO3. Chapter 17. How to Trust a Human. They are funny, Mina says, sitting on a log by Izuku's side as they watch the four young Vikings fight with each other instead of the training dummies. Yeah, they are, Izuku agrees, with a soft smile on his face. And really you're not as bad as the rumors say. Izuku looks at his friend and nods. I told you, they're kind and caring. You told me, and I knew they weren't monsters we've heard about, but I guess they are more than what I thought, Mina said thoughtfully. They're really special to you, and you to them. Izuku smiles and nudges her with his shoulder. Don't say that as if you weren't a part of this already. I can tell that you're special to Kirishima, even though you've known each other so little time. He is very nice, Mina says with a sweet smile. He spent hours telling me stories, and even promised to read more stories so he can tell them to me. I think he's courting you, Izuku says, matter-of-factly, and Mina looks at him as if he grew another head. What? Did you knock your head when your wing broke? The girl asked in disbelief. Actually, I did, but I'm not crazy. I've been here for a while, and I've been friends with Kachan for a while. Sometimes I understand a thing or two about social norms. The stories, the special lunch. He is courting you in his weird human way. Oh! Mina turns to look back at the bright-haired boy, who is running away from an enraged blonde. And did you figure that out from first-hand experience with the feisty one? Izuku chuckles. No, it's different. Kirishima uses his emotions from the front of his mind. He doesn't hide a single thought. Kachan hides his thoughts, even from himself. Mina raises an eyebrow at him warily. If he hurts you, I'll level this whole village with fire and acid. Izuku laughs, but chastises her. Mina, don't. There are good people here, besides the one you've already met. And Kachan won't hurt me. I know he won't. He may not understand his feelings yet, but I'm smarter. Mina giggles and wraps her arms around Izuku in a side hug. I miss seeing you so happy. They all do, back at home, you know? I miss them too, Izuku says with a small voice. But Mina looks at him, and Izuku shifts his glance downwards. But you don't want to go back, she completes for him. I like being here. There's so much to learn, so many things to do and see. Every day it's a new adventure with Kachan by my side. Izuku has a sad look on his face, after being forced to face some facts he'd been purposely ignoring for some time. Mina hugs him tightly against her chest. We'll deal with it when it comes to. We will deal with it when we have to. I'll fight all the elders if I have to, just to protect you, my little munchkin. For now, enjoy your little feisty human, and I'll find out more about this whole courting thing with the cute one. Izuku laughs, and hugs Mei back, rocking her back and forth. Hey, Kachan is the cute one. Your boy glares and snarls. Mine just smiles and says I'm pretty. Much cuter. Well, I think Kachan is the cutest. Izuku pouts. You never had good taste. Mina ponders thoughtfully. Hey! Izuku tackles her, and they stumble on the floor, playing and laughing. In this form, we're almost the same size. I'm still stronger, Mina says, flipping them and pressing Izuku on the floor. Izuku tickles the girl, and Mina folds over laughing, since she's never been tickled before. She laughs so hard that it causes hiccups for her, and it makes them laugh even harder. Hey, get off of him! Kachan shows up out of nowhere and hoists Mina by the collar of her shirt to get away from Izuku. Mina gets startled and hiccups harder, spitting a ball of acid on the log they were just sitting. It eats through the log instantly. They all jump up, scared, and Kirishima, Zero, and Kaminari run towards them. Are you guys okay? Kirishima yells, worried as he gets closer. Izuku freaks out, thinking they might see the destroyed log, and grabs Mina by the hand to run towards the other Vikings. Kirishima, Mina is feeling a little ill. Maybe you should take her back to lie down a little? Kirishima looked even more worried. Of course, do you need me to carry you? He asked the girl, already kneeling down, to show her his back. Hop on, I'll take you home. Mina looks confused between Izuku and Kirishima, but Izuku pushes her towards the Neo boy. Go on, Mina. You have a very long trip here. You should get your rest now. Yeah, just go with Shitty here. We're done for the day. Katsuki grunts beside him. And you two can go. It's not like any more training will help your useless ass. He says to Sero and Kaminari. Soon enough, everyone's leaving the training grounds under Katsuki's murderous threats. Only Izuku and Kacchan stay behind to check on the log. The fuck happened here? Katsuki asks, confused, looking at the melted wood. You spooked Mina when she had the hiccups. I think that triggered a self-defense mechanism and her quirk acted up without she meaning it to. Izuku says, thoughtfully. It's the only thing that makes sense. Mina has complete control of her quirk, in her dragon form, but her human form is different. I didn't know you guys could use your powers as humans. Izuku thinks for a while before answering. I don't think that even dragons knew that. I mean, there is no good reason why we wouldn't be able to, since we are still the same, even if we look different after shifting. But dragons don't usually go around in this form for as long as me and Mina have been doing, so I don't think dragons have even tried using their powers like that. Katsuki nods thoughtfully before saying, Let's roll the rest of the lug to the woods so no one sees it. Then we could go home. Dinner with the Bakugous is always an interesting affair. Izuku adores Auntie Mitsuki and Uncle Masaru. They're very nice and always have hundreds of things to talk about. It's also fun to see Kacchan get jealous. It took a while for Izuku to understand Kacchan's jealousy. For some time, he thought Kacchan didn't like being everyone's center of attention. But after watching the boy in so many situations, things got pretty clear. Kacchan doesn't like it when he isn't the center of Izuku's attention. The dragon doesn't think Katsuki noticed that yet. His friend is very good at ignoring things that are right in front of his nose to try to preserve his pride, so Izuku decides to ignore it too. If Kacchan isn't going to admit it, Izuku won't care about it either. But that doesn't stop the dragon from having fun when he sees it happening. As soon as dinner is over, Kacchan drags Izuku back to his room, grumbling about his parents, as always. He really can't believe Mina didn't see how cute Kacchan is. Everything he does is adorable. Finally, I thought the hag would never stop talking. Katsuki grunts, slamming the door closed. I like talking to Auntie. There's no need to hurry. You are spoiling her too much. If you keep up, she'll never leave us alone. The Viking barks, hopping in 1 feet as he takes his boots off, and Izuku chuckles at his antics. Besides, I need to talk to you in private. I had an idea about your quirk that we could test. This makes Izuku perk up. They haven't discussed his quirk since he got hurt. I was thinking, and I believe dragons' powers get weaker in their human forms. Katsuki says, sitting down on his bed and patting the spot by his side for Izuku to sit too. He said before that Mina's acid could destroy the whole tree, but she barely melted a log today. Izuku frowns. That could just be because it was an involuntary thing. She wasn't trying to melt it. Maybe. Or maybe dragons already use magic to keep their human forms, leaving less magic for their quirks. That sounds possible, but how does that relate to my quirk? It could be safer to test your quirk in human form. I also thought about how you would control it. I think you need to feel the power along your whole body and not just where you want it to work. That's why maybe you could understand the power better. I don't know, Kacchan, that seems dangerous. If my quirk hurts me when it's only on one limb, how much damage could it make on my whole body? Izuku asks, a little uncertain. But that is how strength works, Deku. You have to use your whole body when fighting. Every movement is more complex if you try keeping everything still. Katsuki explains, but Izuku is still feeling skeptic. Here, let me show you. The boy grabs Izuku by the hand and makes them stand facing each other. All right, punch me. Kacchan raises an open palm for Izuku to hit. The dragon's eyes dart from Katsuki's hand to his face several times. He isn't comfortable with hurting Kacchan. Come on, do it. You can't hurt me if you tried, shitty lizard. Izuku decided to humor the boy and punch his palm lightly. Again, stronger. I know you have more in you. The second punch is much harder, forcing Katsuki to take a step back. That is it. Now try punching me again without moving anything but your arm. Izuku pulls his arm up and... No, just your arm. You're moving your chest and back. Oh, Kacchan is right. Izuku straightens his back and tries raising his arm again. You moved your shoulder and changed the weight to your leg. This is much harder than he thought. To actually manage to punch Kacchan without moving anything but his arm, Katsuki has to make the move very, very slow and deliberate. And in the end, the punch comes out much weaker than before. Try again, this time faster and stronger. Izuku does, but the movement is unnatural, and when his hands hit Kacchan's palm, it hurts his whole arm. Izuku's eyes go huge in realization. Kacchan, you're a genius! Of course I hurt myself when my power is only in my arm. My quirk wasn't strengthening the rest of my body, and the power imbalance put too much strain on your limbs. You're absolutely right, Izuku says excitedly. This is the biggest breakthrough he had with his quirk. Of course I'm right. I'm always fucking right, shitty Deku. And you will be very well to remember that. The boy answers proudly. Now let's try turning your quirk on throughout your whole body. Izuku takes a small step back after hearing that. Sure, the theory sounded solid, but the risks were too high. They could only destroy Kacchan's house, reveal his hidden power to every human, and even worse, it could hurt Kacchan. The space is too small. They have to try that elsewhere, somewhere safe. But Kacchan disagrees. The Viking takes Izuku's hand on his own, forcing the boy to look at him. Izuku blushes as his eyes go down at their joint hands and their intimate position. You can do it. You don't have to worry. Katsuki whispers, looking deep into his eyes. Don't you trust me? I trust you, it's too dangerous. Izuku pleads. It isn't. Nothing about you is dangerous. Kacchan caresses Izuku's hands with his thumb. Just a little misunderstood. But I'm gonna help you understand. All you have to do is trust me. It's hard to say no to Kacchan when he's being so unfairly charming. All right. What do I have to do? Turn on your power and try to imagine it flowing through your whole body. Izuku tries to pull his hands back to himself, but Katsuki holds him in place. The determined look in those eyes make it clear he won't accept any other way. Izuku takes a deep breath, resigns, and closes his eyes. He doesn't even know if he can turn on his powers in human form, but he needs to try for Kacchan. Izuku reaches deep inside him for the small ball of energy that was his quirk. Usually, he would take the full ball to a part of his body he wanted to use. This time, he thought the image of the ball growing larger and larger until it surrounded his whole body. Open your eyes, Deku. Open your eyes, Deku. Katsuki whispers. Izuku opens them slowly, too scared of what he may see. When he meets is Katsuki's face, forming a big smile. Look, Kacchan says, insinuating with his hand for Izuku to look at his arms. And there it is, green lightning running over his body and his arm and chest. His whole body is lit up with one for all, as Kacchan called it. The light travels bright and fast to Izuku, pent up energy ready to be released. Now let's try toning it down a little. You look like a bonfire. That could light up a whole village. Let's bring him down to a candle. How can I do that? Izuku asked, confused, but not afraid anymore. Kacchan was right in everything he had said. Izuku won't doubt him ever again. Just relax. Deep breaths with me. Kacchan whispers, and shows to Izuku when to breathe in and out very slowly. Yeah, keep doing that. And now imagine the power going down, getting smaller. Izuku tries to picture the ball of fast energy becoming very dense center, but keeping its size big to keeping the flow through his whole body. The center of his belly is strong and bright, but the entrails of his limbs become a faint glow. Sure enough, the flashes of lightning in his arm seem to become slower and more sparse. Perfect. You're doing great, Deku. Katsuki praises him with a small smile. Let's try giving a tiny step now, okay? Oh, okay. We can try. Izuku's heartbeat picks up with the idea of moving and lights up again. Breathe and relax. You got this, nerd. And I'll be with you the whole time. You don't have to worry. Of course he doesn't have to worry. Kacchan is here, and he believes in Izuku can do it. Great, that's it. Now just one step, okay? Follow my lead. Katsuki makes one of his feet touch Izuku's. You're going to take one step forward, and I'm going to take one step back. You got it? Yeah, got it. On 3. 1, 2. Katsuki raises his feet just half an inch above the floor, and Izuku follows him to not break the light contact between their toes. 3. And they take one small step perfectly. No destruction, no injury, no explosion of power. Kacchan, I did it! Izuku exclaims happily. Yeah, you did, silly dragon. Katsuki says with a proud smile on his face. Let's try another one. Follow my lead again. They take 3 more steps, happiness growing in every one of them. The excitement is so much that the lightning goes back to its more energized state, and Katsuki decides that they've had enough progress for one night. I think we should call it a night, he says, and at that moment, Izuku pushes his power back to its original ball and jumps to hug Katsuki. However, he does both things too fast, and one last silver power jumps from his finger straight up. The air wave makes a hole the size of a watermelon on the roof. Katsuki and Izuku freeze in their hug, looking up into the night sky, now appearing in the middle of the bedroom. Oops, Izuku says, embarrassed. Well, I always wanted a skylight anyways. It's gonna bring a nice breeze in the summer, Katsuki says, with half a smirk on his face. Izuku hugs Kacchan, ever tighter, hiding his face on the crook of his neck. The Viking laughs at his antics and hugs him back, but Izuku doesn't think he's ever been this happy before. Let's go! Izuku learning how to use his quirk, finally. Also, Izuku acknowledging that Baku is courting him, but not in the same way as Kirishima is courting Mina. Also, Mina finally figured it out. Love that. I love what Izuku and Bakugou have, because it's like unspoken, but like they both know, but it's like unspoken kind of, you know? It's very, very interesting. I also love how Mina would literally do anything for Izuku, and I love that. I love that. I love their little friendship with Izuku and Mina. I didn't think I needed that, but now that I have it, I can't have enough of it, you know? When I first read this, I thought, interesting, you know, like friendship pairing, but, you know, weirdly enough, it works, you know? It's not a pairing that you normally see a lot, but it works, and I love it. So that's all I have to say for now. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my videos. And thank you so much for watching.